Hello everybody. Today we are going to see about introduction to classes and objects. What do you mean by class means? It's actually a blueprint. It's just like a template from which you can take copies. That copies you are terming it as an object. So each class will be initialized using the constructor. If you are not providing with constructors means automatically default constructor will be constructed in the Java itself, Java compiler itself. So if you see, the class consists of members called fields and methods. Okay. So data fields, it is having fields and also the methods. Okay. Now I will show you an example, simple example to make you understand the concept of classes and object. If you see here, here I have, you know very well how to declare a class. It is class is the keyword and this is the access specifier public. So it can be accessed. This class can be accessed by any other classes resides in this package or any other package outside the that package. Okay. So here, if you see, here I have one field. It is the data member. It is of the data type double and its name is balance. So I have here one field, that is the data member, and its access specifier is private. Java has so many access specifiers: public, private, protected, and default. In the later videos, in detail, I tell you about the protected and all. Now, let I try to explain only for private access specifier, since this is the introduction to classes and object video. So here, if you declare the data member as a private means only through the methods of the class. Okay, the method members of the class, it can be accessed. It will be, the data member will be visible and you can access that data member through the methods resides inside that class. Okay. Even the objects of this class can't access directly this uh, data member, that is the field, only through the methods of that class you can access the data field. Okay. So here if you see, I have one data field, data member called balance, which is of type double. And I have two methods, get balance and set balance. This is called getters and setters, the method. This is the getter method, that is, I am getting the field, the value of the field. As you know, the function keyword return helps to return the value, okay, from that function. So here it returns double, okay, because balance is of type double. Okay, so through this method, I'm getting the value for balance. And here I am saying through the set balance method, I am setting the value for amount. I mean the balance. This is the uh, local variable to this method. So I am passing, while calling this method, I am passing some value. That value will be set, okay, to this data field. So this is one class which has two methods and one data field. Okay, now I show you another class called banking. Okay, if you see here, this class actually, this is another class in the same package I'm storing. So it has this public static void main. Okay. So as you know, Java's execution starts where this method is there, public static void main string args. Kindly watch my previous video. I have explained about this. So this is the application class. Okay. Which is the application class? One which have this public static void main. If you see here, This account class is not the application class because no main method, public static void main is available. But you can create the object of this class and use it in another class. That's what I'm going to show you. Here the banking class which uses this. Okay. So if you see here, so this public class banking is the name I have given. This is the banking class. So it has the method called public static void main. So this is the application class. So you can run this program. So if you see, I have created the object. How to create the object for the class? As you know, you can use the class by creating the object. I told you class is a blueprint and you can make a copy of it. This is the copy here I am making. That copy I am terming it as object. Okay. So this object name is what? AC1. How to create an object? Just you have to provide what is the class name and what is the variable you are willing to give for that object. This is the object name equal to new is the operator. Okay, that keyword you have to give, and after the class name you have to provide open and close parenthesis. This is the must. And as you know, in Java every statement ends with semicolon. So here if you see in the account class, I didn't give any constructor. Okay, if you see here, no constructor is available. Constructor is the one, it's just like the method, but with no return value. And it is of the same class name. Okay. So here I don't have such constructor here. So if a constructor has not been given for that class means automatically JVM creates for that. Okay. So here it initializes with primitive. What are all the primitive value here? Only balance. That will be initialized to 0.0. If any other field with Boolean value means it will be default value, it initializes with false. And if any object is there as the data member, means another class is also member of that class, means null will be initialized through the default constructor that will be provided by the JVM. Through the constructor's main functionality is to initialize the parameters, the data fields of the class. If you didn't provide any constructor, means default constructor will be constructed by the Java virtual machine itself, and it provides the default values to the appropriate data types. Okay. So here no constructor I have provided inside the account class. So automatically default constructor will be used by the Java JVM machine, and it will be initially. Now I have in the account only one data field called balance that will be initialized to 0.0. Why means it's of the data type double. Okay. Afterwards, what I am doing here? Here I am just printing this account one dot get balance. So it returns the value called balance. Yes or no? So if you see here, so it calls this get balance. So it returns that balance. What is the initial balance now? It is just 0.0. Okay. And then next, what I am doing here, if you see, once again through the object, I am calling. So directly you cannot, without AC1, you cannot give get balance. It will, this method will not be knowing if you are not providing with the object name. You have to specify the object name and call their respective methods. Otherwise, it tells error. That is the way of calling the method which resides in another class. Through their objects, you have to call. Okay. So object dot get balance. Here get balance and set balance I didn't provide, I have provided it as public. So through the object you can call. Okay, you can access it. So here, if you see here, I have called AC1.getBalance. Initially, it will print what 0.0 for this statement. And afterwards, I am setting the balance by calling this method. In the set balance, amount is there, no? For that local variable amount, I am passing 100. Then it calls that method. If you see, that method is what here, public class, public void set balance. Okay. So this is the method. Here I am passing 100 for this. Yes. That will be set to this balance. Okay. Now once again, I am calling this, if you see, okay, just I erase this. Okay. So if you see here, so I have what set balance 100. So now if you once again you are printing, okay, system out dot println account one dot get balance. Okay, what it will print now? Now it will print 100. Okay. So here double once again I am declaring a variable called BAL. Okay. So what is this BAL? It is a local variable, okay, to this public static void main. For this method, this is a local variable. Okay, I didn't initialize any value equal to something I didn't give. And if I try to execute this statement, if I want to print, that means it will tell error. Because I didn't initialize. Only if we have initialized, you can print that. Okay. So here, no problem. Get balance initially, even though it is not get initialized, default constructor has set the values. So it will not produce any error. Okay. So, and then afterwards, you are after calling the set balance, I have set the value for the balance. Okay. So now once again, I am through the balance. For this balance, AC1 dot get balance means what? It returns the balance. Okay. So if you see here, so I'm calling this method get balance and it returns the balance. What it will return? 100 because already I have setted the balance 100 through this method set balance. Now once again if I call means it returns that balance value here. Okay. So if you see, so it sets for BAL 100 because it returns the balance value and will be stored. If any method returns something means you should catch that using the variable which is of same data type. So, or otherwise you can just print inside the system out.println. If you are not catching means it will tell error. Okay. And afterwards just it prints the value. Now balance will be printed as 100. Okay. So I hope you have understood this. Now I show you how to run this program. As you know, in the previous videos, I have shown how to run the Java using the command line interface. Now I am compiling only the banking program. Okay. Automatically it compiles the account also, which it is using inside that. Okay, automatically it creates the object for both account and banking. Now I am running the program banking, which uses the account class objects. Okay. So initial value is what? You see, account 1 initial balance is 0.0, and afterwards through the set balance I have set it as 100, and I am printing that. And after setting the value for the local variable BAL, I am printing the value for that. I hope you have understood the basic classes and objects concept, and how you can call the methods inside the class through the objects. Thanks for watching.